Hello, everyone, and welcome to this presentation on choosing grade 12 courses. My name is Mr. Pursuti, and I'm one of the guidance counselors here in the guidance office at Georgetown High School. This presentation is really meant for grade 11 students and their families, so they can choose some wise courses and hear some recommendations and considerations for choosing grade 12 courses. I'm going to access this presentation, or at least show you how to access this presentation so you can get to it later on or for future reference. So here I am on the main Georgetown High School website, geo.hcsb.ca. Go scroll over to guidance and the drop-down menu, course selection for grade 10 to 12. All of our resources are here, including all of our courses that we're offering, the program book, what you need to graduate, resources on how to use My Blueprint, which is exactly where you will do your course selection. But I'm going to scroll down to selecting grade 12 courses, and I'm going to go over this slideshow. Once I've finished recording this presentation, I'm actually going to post a link to it right here on the website. So let me pull up the selecting grade 12 courses presentation and start to think about some of the key considerations for our grade 11 students and their families. So what we really want is for students to make wise choices for whatever their post-secondary pathway will be. So some things you need to think about are, which course types are you currently taking? Are they college pathway courses? Are they mixed courses, university courses, or workplace? Because that is going to kind of lead you directly into which pathway that you're considering after high school. Is it an apprenticeship that you're really thinking about doing? Is it college or university, the workplace, or is it a combination of all of those? Are you thinking about going to university first and then finishing at college, or vice versa? When we think about our post-secondary plans for our senior students, we really want them to think backwards. We want them to think about the future. So what program, what opportunity, what field of study, what initial destination are you thinking about pursuing in future years after your grade 12 year? You then need to make the plan to get to that spot. So what specific courses do you need to be accepted? So you have to do the research for your college program or for your university program, or even apprenticeship, of what specific courses that you need. And then what you need to do now is to put those courses into your My Blueprint account to select them officially for your grade 12 year. What I'm going to do is give some course recommendations for each of the pathways that myself and the other guidance counselors have put together. First and foremost, though, we need to think about what you need in order to graduate. So in order to earn your OSST, your Ontario Secondary School Diploma, you need to have your 30 credits in your grade 12 year. The only compulsory, mandatory, required course that's needed is English, and the rest are electives. And of course, you could choose any elective from any of the departments that you see listed there. The only other thing that we often really need our grade 11 and 12 students to check are their group requirements. There's something called Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3, and they are mandatory. All students in Ontario do have to take a Group 1, 2, or 3 credit, but there is some choice in there. So for Group 1, as an example, students would need to take an additional social science, Canadian World Studies course, in other words, a history, a geography, a humanities course, a guidance, or a co-op. And any one of those choices would satisfy a Group 1 requirement. Most of the time, students in grade 11 and 12 have naturally already met these requirements based on whatever courses they chose in their grade 10 and 11 year, but sometimes that's not the case. So we just need all students to check their My Blueprint account when they put in their courses to see if they have met all of those group requirements. If you are heading towards an apprenticeship, we strongly suggest that students take college pathway English or workplace pathway English. That would be ENG 4C or 4E. And really a co-op placement would be the best choice for you. Because the co-op is when you are working outside of the school, you're in the community, you have a boss and a supervisor and your teacher, and you're learning on-the-job training, which is exactly what you will do when you are in an apprenticeship. We also offer some Ontario Youth Apprenticeship programs here at the school, which is a combination of co-op, but also year one trade school theory for apprenticeship programs. So we offer that in hairstyling and aesthetics, construction and cabinet making, and also transportation. There are other regional programs that you might be interested in, SHSM programs, OYAT programs at other schools that are offered in our district, and you can see those on haltonpathways.ca or on myblueprint.ca. If you are heading towards the college pathway after high school, we suggest that you take ENG 4C, College Pathway English, or ENG 4U, University Pathway English. But one thing to note is that a grade 12 math is going to be required for a lot of business, technical, hospitality programs. They're going to require a grade 12 math, sometimes a grade 11 math. They will look at those marks, but of course the grade 12 math would trump any grade 11 that you would have taken previously. Grade 12 science courses we would recommend for those students that are heading towards healthcare, nursing, firefighting, and even some technical programs. And it's important to note that when you're in senior level high school courses, that colleges, when you apply, will look at the marks in your compulsory courses primarily. So we're speaking about math, English, and science. So those are particularly important for highly competitive programs in post-secondary college programs. All of the research that you should be doing will be in myblueprint.ca and also the Ontario Colleges website, which is ontariocolleges.ca. Of course, you can contact us for either further recommendations or to double check what those admission requirements are. If you're heading towards the university pathway, it's important to note that university applications across Ontario require 6 courses at the grade 12 university or mixed pathway. Okay, so that means all university programs in Ontario require 6 courses. Sometimes I have students in my office saying, oh, I've already taken grade 11 anthropology, psychology, and sociology, so that will count. It actually does not count. University applications require 6 grade 12 courses, and they must be at the university or mixed pathway. In other words, grade 12 U English, University English, is required for like 99.99% of all Ontario programs. And then really what you need to do as the student is to kind of decide on a focus. Are you going to be heading towards more business and commerce as a field of application? Are you more of an arts, humanities, or social science student? Or are you a life science student, a physical science student, engineering, education? So whatever that kind of field, that general university pathway you're heading towards, that's going to further refine any prerequisites that are required for those 6 courses to gain entry into that program. And it's important to note that sometimes very similar or even the same programs at different schools will have different prerequisites. So, for example, kinesiology at Queen's might have some specific grade 12 prerequisite courses that McMaster kinesiology program does not. So it's important to check the prerequisite listings, information, even average cutoffs, the number of available spots in each of these programs, and you could do that right on the Ontario University's info.ca website. So that would be the best place to research because it says all of that information, including grade cutoffs for your what we would call top 6, the 6 grade 12 U&M levels. For the top 6, that will always include English, as I've mentioned, and then any prerequisite courses for the specific programs. If you are interested in arts, humanities, or social science, generally they do not list out what any additional prerequisites for the 6. It's generally speaking your best 6 inclusive of English for you. If you're heading towards a business program, they typically require, now this is just generally speaking, it's up, of course, to the student and families to double check that each program at each school that they're applying to have what their specific course recommendations and prerequisites are. But generally speaking, business, commerce programs will require 1 to 2 grade 12 university level maths. That would be data management, calculus and vectors, or advanced functions. Some programs specifically say it has to be advanced functions and calculus and vectors, or other programs will say, 1 or 2 of any of the 4U maths. Science programs typically also require 1 to 2 grade 12 maths, data management, calculus and vectors, and advanced functions. Again, some programs say what those math courses have to be, maybe calculus, maybe advanced functions. Others will say, 1 to 2 of the 3 maths. And then science programs will also ask that you have 2 to 3 science courses. Now, depending on your specialization, they might say you have to have biology or chemistry or physics, or they would say, chemistry is strongly recommended. It's just depending on the program at each university. And, science programs at Guelph will have different recommendation or prerequisite requirements than, science at McMaster would. If you're heading to life sci, health sci, those programs typically require 2 to 3 maths and 2 to 3 science courses, depending, of course, on the specialization. And similarly with engineering, they're going to require 2 to 3 maths and 2 to 3 science courses. And again, this is just a general guideline only. You, as the applicant, really need to make sure that you review the prerequisite information and the criteria for each of those programs. So engineering at Queen's might say calculus and vectors has to be included in your top 6, but they might not say that advanced functions has to. But so you do need to take advanced functions in order to be taking the calculus and vectors for your high school. If you're heading towards the workplace, we strongly suggest that you take English 4C, which is college pathway, or English 4E, the workplace pathway. And then grade 12 math would really help you show well-rounded skills to whatever employer you are going to be applying to. Co-op would probably be the best choice for your electives because you're going to be working out in the community and earning those high school credits simultaneously. Sometimes those co-op placements do end up into full-time jobs after high school as well. If you do need assistance getting employment, VPI is a great option for you to apply and use their employment services, as well as the community employment services at Sheridan College. So you can contact your guidance counselor for more information on these. Some other considerations for everyone as they choose their grade 12 courses. Those students in French immersion, you should be at 9 earned French immersion credits by the start of your grade 12 year. So the only credit that you need, in addition to the 9 that you've already taken, would be your grade 12 French immersion French language credit. So that will be a compulsory credit for you that everyone else will not have. So that's finishing out in your 10 French immersion credits. If you are taking a summer school course, this goes for anybody listening to this presentation. If you plan to take a summer school course between your grade 11 and grade 12 year, for instance, just as an example, English or any other missing compulsory, do not add that course to your My Blueprint account for next school year. I want you to select another elective instead. In other words, the only courses I want you to put in My Blueprint would be the courses that you intend on taking next school year. So if, for example, you're going to take English or one other missing compulsory course that you would otherwise have to take during the school year, but you're going to decide to do that in summer school, that's great. You can do that. You need to register on your own for that. Registration forms usually come out in April or May. We will post that information on our guidance website, the school website, and of course the Gary Allen website, who offers summer school. But then do not add that course into My Blueprint because these courses that you add to My Blueprint will be the ones that you are going to take from September all the way to June only. Some courses you might want to consider if you want to be a PAL, a senior student, a mentor in a junior class. That might be good for students who are heading towards leadership roles in university or college. If you're interested in being working with children in any sort, then that might be a great course for you. That course is called GPP 30A. Cooperative Education would be COP 408. The 8 means that it is 2 credits worth, and generally that's going to be period 1 and 2 or period 4 and 5 during a regular semester, or it would take the 2 periods of an entire quadmester. Really what you're going to do there in the co-op is to gain work experience, and you're going to earn your high school credits, and you could do that in any pathway plan, whether it's college, university, or workplace or apprenticeship. We have a new course that's starting in September 2021, and that is the Writer's Craft College Pathway. We've always offered the Writer's Craft at the university pathway, but the English department is offering a college pathway course for Writer's Craft, so that might be a good one to look out for if you are interested in creative writing. And for those students who are in an SHSM, a specialist high skills major, you really need to make sure through your myblueprint.ca account that you have enough of your SHSM core courses, that you have co-op in your plan or have already completed in grade 11, and that you have enough of your electives, your maths, or your science or business credits, depending on the SHSM that you are in. So you can check the status of your SHSM program right in your MyBlueprint account. If you are interested in taking any e-learning courses, these would be courses that are kind of asynchronous, done generally on your own time or in a spare period. All of those courses end with an O on the end. So the examples I put here: Challenge and Change, HSB for you O. That the O would stand for that it's an online course. It's important to note for these courses that you have to log in each day. You have to be a self-directed learner because there really are no synchronous elements to it. It's all asynchronous and you are kind of on your own. You do have a teacher that's there to support you and help you and mark your stuff, and you can ask questions, but you really do have to be a self-directed learner in order to take these courses. Things to consider: you're going to be in your grade 12 year, so you want to make sure that you are on track to graduate. That includes your 40 community service hours, that you have your literacy requirement, either the grade 10 literacy test or your literacy course, and that you are on track to earn 30 credits. If you feel you're not on track to earn 30 credits, I would have a conversation with your guidance counselor to make sure that you are. In order to be a part of our graduation ceremony at the end of your grade 12 year, commencement, that kind of thing, you need to be a potential graduate. And so if you are not on track to earn 30 credits, the hours, or your literacy, then you wouldn't technically graduate on paper and you would not be eligible to be part of the graduation ceremony. So we always suggest that our grade 12s hit that benchmark of graduation, whether they are planning to return to grade 13 or grade 12 plus or not. It's always a good idea to actually be a graduate as well. You're going to be completing the course selection on myblueprint.ca /Halton. You're going to be doing this on your own. We're going to have assemblies and all that kind of thing, but it's important for you to you could do it on your phone, you could do it on your laptop to actually choose your courses. And when you have myblueprint.ca /Halton, the /Halton allows you to log in with your school login. If you are not sure how to use MyBlueprint, we have a step-by-step guide here that will show you. You would go to /Halton and you can see the green button, school account login, and that's where you could log in using your school credentials. And then there's a step-by-step guide here how to actually do your course selection. If you want to know what courses are offered year by year, you can also click this link. This is also available on our website, but these are all the courses that we are planning to offer in our school for next year. So you are in grade 11 right now, so you'll be choosing your grade 12 courses. So you can see right there, ADA 4M1 grade 12 drama requires ADA 3M1 or ADD 3M1. So you would know through your MyBlueprint account if you have taken these, so you can kind of take a snapshot to see the courses that I'm sitting in, are they prerequisites for the courses that I want to take next year? And you can go down the list through geography, history, English, French, all the way down math, science, to see what kind of prerequisites are needed for any grade 12 course that you are interested in taking. So that's it from us. We ask that you contact us if you do have any specific questions. I forgot to change the slide there. That should say Mr. Pursuti. That should say N to Z is my name. Ms. Bays has retired. A to G would be Ms. Mistruzzi, and H to M would be Ms. Tin, of course, by your last name. So if you do have any questions, feel free to contact us. And we wish you luck as you choose your grade 12 courses.